Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Well, state officials say 2020 was a fourth consecutive record-breaking year for economic development in Indiana. According to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the state secured commitments from 282 companies looking to locate or grow in the state. Those companies committing to investing more than $5.6 billion and as many as 31,300 jobs. But what's ahead in 2021? For some answers, we turn, as we begin this week's show, to Indiana Secretary of Commerce, Jim Schellinger. And Jim, as always, welcome to the program.
Always good to be with you, Gary.
I mentioned those numbers. Those are big numbers for any year, of course, but surprising, I think most would say, in the age of the pandemic, to still get those numbers. What really drove that? There were a lot of big deals, one of them late in the year, the ELANCO expansion, a new corporate headquarters in downtown Indianapolis, likely investment around the state of Indiana, too, but there were a lot more as well.
Well, first of all, you have to credit the leadership of Governor Holcomb and certainly the leadership in both chambers, whether it be Speaker Todd Houston or Senate Pro Temp Bray. Just great leadership. And under the Holcomb administration, we will do a lot of things. But I can't tell you, Gary, and you know this better than anybody, how proud we are of the businesses in Indiana, the homegrown businesses that have stepped up and continue to have faith in our state, the businesses that are headquartered outside of Indiana, but in the other 49 states that are investing in our state, either expanding or coming, and certainly the foreign direct investment expansion and attraction. It's been a team effort. Our guys are the best there are at IEDC. The entire team, soup to nuts, are just fantastic people that know how to block and tackle. It's that simple.
And these decisions are made with companies really forward-looking, obviously, 3 years, 5 years beyond making these decisions. So while the pandemic is certainly happening now as we speak, as they look longer term, that weighs into their decision.
Well, I'd say we were a little surprised by this fourth record-breaking year in some ways, but not in others. So we set the job count, as you just mentioned, and we set payroll new record, $1.8 billion in this last year. But I think it goes back to just the different industries having faith in our state. And as you said, the time horizon for a business is much longer than you would for your health. If you're sick, you go to the hospital or doctor. But the businesses are planning for 24, 25. We have some big announcements coming up. We currently have about 42 projects in the pipeline, of which 22 offers have been made. Usually when we make offers, at that point, we have about an 80% track record of winning those projects. And we have big projects happening, 7,200 new jobs, $2.5 billion in CapEx that we're starting the year out with. And we've already broke 1,000 jobs this year. And we want to continue to keep our wage at that 28 plus, which we did last year, 28.13. The year before set the record at 28.60. So we're just very proud of all the different teams. And we have projects, significant projects happening in every single one of the 6 regions, whether it be central Indiana, northwest Indiana, north central Indiana, northeast, southwest, and southeast. Every one of those regions have a lot of job activity.
So again, Jim, you're saying that the pipeline already in 2021 is beginning to fill up, including the potential soon perhaps for major manufacturing announcement.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them that are going to happen, 2 in north central Indiana, 1 in southwest, that are really significant projects, some of the largest projects we've ever had. And we're in the final discussions with those companies. And in some cases, we're waiting on an announcement to be had. Yeah. So we're excited about that. But whether it's recycle business or an automobile industry or the RV industry, as you can imagine, Gary, is extremely hot right now with the virus and people wanting to get outside. Outdoor furniture equipment, just huge in terms of what they're doing. But we also have life sciences and agrobiosciences, logistics, and IT. I mentioned our project you covered many years ago, Emphasis. Emphasis now is the #1 IT company in the world, hiring at a #1 rate for an IT company right here in Indianapolis.
Yep, major operation near the old Indianapolis International Airport. Jim, I want to talk to you about the Next Level Regional Recovery Program. Governor Holcomb talked about that for a bit in a State of the State address this week. Kind of modeled in a sense, I guess, like the Regional Cities Initiative. What is this Regional Recovery Program? What's it all about? How do you see it impacting communities around the state?
Well, the governor's been looking at this for quite some time now. And of course, it's all dependent upon how the legislative session goes this year and a budget year. And if we're financially in a position to do it, the governor's committed to doing it. There hasn't been an amount set yet, but it's going to be a significant amount, as was last time. Modeled by regional cities, but a little bit different because of the fact that we got a lot of recovering to do yet. And he mentioned the name Next Level Regional Recovery. That's the name for now. It's likely to change. But it's about getting the places, back on track per his plan. So it's a little bit different than regional cities, but we want it to be focused on quality of place where businesses want to be, and they want to be at those places because there's good health services, there's good everything, good places to live, work, play, and stay. And so it'll be a lot like regional cities, but with a twist to make sure that we're helping communities that have struck hard by COVID to make a recovery to those setbacks.
Yeah, so you sense this program, if it does come to fruition, would also include rural areas around the state and kind of out in the non-urban areas, if you will, some of these areas that have been struggling certainly for some time.
Yeah, regional cities, ultimately, we awarded three $42 million grants to North Central, Northeast, and Southwest. But shortly thereafter, we gave funding to North Central, East Central, West Central, Southeast eventually, and then the double tracking in the West Lake Corridor expansion up in Lake County, a little bit different project. But every region got funding, and that means we want every county to be a part of it. And that's why they need to look at things as a region and not as a given city or a county. And they've done an exemplary role. And I can't wait to work with all the leadership in those regions because this is a game changer, and especially at this time.
All right, Jim Schellinger, Indiana's Secretary of Commerce, certainly looking forward to covering more stories ahead in 2021. Jim, as always, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.